to be fair, I had a feeling if he had lost to Sunderland, he would have been
They
fired.
fire him, yeah.
Yeah, so probably he just bought himself
Sometime.
over the international break, and if he comes back and continues with the flip flop, then he definitely has to go. Um, there is total there is total regression in Man United. When we fired Ten Hag, we thought it was Ten Hag, and then um,
Watch Friendship TV right now.
Got it. So, like I said, United won another game. It's a big news now that they win a game against Sunderland. And Shesko got his goal, well taken goal. I don't know. The big question now is, are United back? Is he looking up for United? Do you think should they stick with Amorim? You're mute. Okay.
Yeah, the truth is that one game doesn't change perspectives or perceptions or something that's lasted over time. Yeah, Amorim hasn't won enough games. This is a bend that they've taken that I think augurs well, right? The body language was different against Sunderland. Yeah, there was intensity in their play, there was purpose in their play. It seemed like they had a game plan, things that haven't been seen in United games for a while. And it was good to see, right? Mason Mount played really well. Sesko, at least, I'm like, it's a guy that Arsenal we're going for. And up till this game against Sunderland, I couldn't see why Arsenal could have been going for this guy. But let me not say that. I've seen some flashes, right? You could see the athleticism. You could see the somebody that's trying to get there, trying to, make a difference for his side. He clicked against Sunderland, right? I don't think it's enough for you to change your mind about Amorim, but I think it's maybe enough to give him a few more games and see how things go, right? Yeah, that's what I'll say about that.
Yeah, in that game, possession was 50-50. United had 6 shots on target, 7 off target, way more than Sunderland, and obviously got their goals. They looked, like Ugu mentioned, they looked on it more. They were aggressive. They really went out for it. Obviously, sometimes when the team's back is on the wall, they always come up with those kinds of attitude. Now, like you mentioned earlier on, is sustenance. Can they continue to turn out every weekend in this manner? Because, like I've said, I don't think quality of players has really been the major issue in United. There are other things that have been part of that, but maybe attitude, maybe other things outside the field of play. Because all the players that are United, they go elsewhere, they do good. So in the same players, so I don't think it's really quality. I think it's more of attitude and other things that go on behind the scenes. So Jude, I don't know. How do you see that one? I mean, Ateta at some point, people were talking about relegation for Arsenal when he started. Should United stick with Amorim, and ride this one and see where it takes them?
That's that's a very that's a very tricky question, but yeah, that's a question anybody should be asking. And now, to be fair, I had a feeling if he had lost to Sunderland, he would have been
They
fired.
fire him, yeah.
Yeah, so probably he just bought himself
Sometime.
over the international break, and if he comes back and continues with the flip flop, then he definitely has to go. Um, there is total there is total regression in Man United. When we fired Ten Hag, we thought it was Ten Hag, and then Ten Hag had all sorts of poor records, set new ones, and now Amorim came in and
I was
took it another notch
and
higher
then
with certain different poor records all over the place. The team has been all over the place. Defensive fragility, lack of identity and cohesion. there's no clear, consistent playing style that I can see. But yet the coach keeps saying that he has a system that he doesn't want to change. But every time I take a bit of time to watch their game,
Don't even know
I
what
can't
they're
see
doing. Don't
anything.
even know what they're doing.
I
What
don't
they're
even know.
doing.
Yeah, I don't know what they're playing.
Our
But and then
substitutions is
they go
like for
in,
like. Nothing changes.
you know.
It's,
And again, too, we know they bought a lot of stars and a lot of, but a lot of them have been dramatic and not performing to their level. Um, the signings that we would have expected him to make, he wasn't making them. He didn't get any serious people in the middle and at the back. And then he lost um, Rashford and
Holland.
what's this guy? What?
Garnacho and Holland.
Yeah, Garnacho. Yeah. Garnacho. That was that one really amazed me because I was like, this guy that had all the motivation and all the energy, to play for United, and
Yeah,
he
and
let him
that
go.
takes me to the manager. And this is where I have an issue with Amorim. In England, first of all, United is a big team. There's a lot of interest when it comes to Manchester United. In press conferences, they're going to press you. I think by now, he should have learned or found a way to deal with the press. I think he talks way too much. He gives too much details in press conferences. They did that at that time when he was struggling too. At some point, when he started being strong and firm to this and being maybe a little bit closed up with this the pressmen, they started leaving him alone. Amorim he even talks about how the players go to the restroom. You don't have to give all these details. Stick to, be a little bit diplomatic in your response so that they can give you some space, because sometimes some of these things you say, they go out there and amplify them, both the fans, both the press, and your players, and it comes back to haunt what's going on in the team. So I think it's one area. I mean, he succeeded in Sporting, so I'm not going to say he's a bad coach, but it's one area he needs to improve on and stop being overly open-minded with the press and what he says out there. Keep your sermon in the dressing room and with your players, and forget about this press. Sometimes even ignore them and bluff them and just focus on. But he goes on and on and on and keeps talking about what is going on. I don't know. Do you have anything to say on that before we move to the biggest game of the weekend?
I do agree with you. It's just that, I mean, it's his style of communication with the press, and I can say that people like that, they hardly change the way they operate. Yeah, because he feels that that's why he's successful. He seems to be like an open book to the press, and of course they utilize that to most times work against him instead of helping him. I think the less he says, the better. Yeah, because there are so many quotes that are being attributed to him that's just not helping his team, not helping the PR for him and for his team. But it is what it is. As long as he keeps delivering, I guess he will have people defending him as well, while others lay into him. He should just put his head down and work with his team and see whether if they replicate the form of play against Sunderland for the next few games, they'll be in a much better position.
Watch Trends TV